Hello and welcome back to another episode or another video on the Paddy OC channel. Today I've got starting a new series, I'd call it, called Player Rivalries. I did hint at this in some of my live streams if you were tuning in, but today I've got Patrick Dangerfield versus Dustin Martin, one of the biggest player rivalries of the 2010s, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's go into the individual achievements and start with Danger. So he's a one-time Brownlow medalist, one-time Lee Matthews Trophy winner, one-time AFL Coaches Association Player of the Year award, 8-time All-Australian, including being the captain a couple of times and vice-captain, one-time Gary Ayres award, which is basically the best player of the final series, 3-time Kaji Greaves medalist, which is Geelong's best and fairest, I was going to say Showdown Medal and Tom Wheels Trophy, but that's sort of a trophy that can only be awarded to a certain group of players that Dusty cannot qualify for because he's not at those clubs, so it's a bit unfair to put those trophies in. Now I've got Dusty, who's won 3 Norm Smith medals, a one-time Brownlow medalist, a Lee Matthews Trophy winner, an AFL Coaches Association Player of the Year award winner, only a 4-time All-Australian team, 3-time Gary Ayres award, which is obviously best player of the finals, 2-time Jack Dyers award, which is Richmond's club best and fairest, and a Lou Richards medal, which isn't much of an award, but it's a Channel 9 footy shows medal they give out to who they believe is the best player every year. Now moving on to premiership success, obviously Dusty 3 premierships and Danger with the 1. But that will be 2 at the end of the year, so keep that in mind. Argument for Danger. Now, he has arguably been a way more consistent player than Dusty, who realistically only had 4 good seasons. Now, I'd say 2016, not a good club season, but good individual season, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. Take out 2016. So probably 4 amazing seasons, and then maybe 5 or 6 good seasons. And now Patrick Dangerfield has also been able to keep his spot in the midfield, while Dusty has not. And Danger also plays a more physical game style, which would probably be a bit more demanding on the body. And Danger's actually a year older than Dusty. Now, Dusty has a way more look-at-me game style. He gets a lot of the ball and does all of the classy uncontested stuff, which I'm not saying is bad. Kicking goals and getting a handball received from a contested midfielder, being able to run, fend off, all that. Fend off is actually pretty contested, but he seems to be able to sneak forward and kick a few goals every game while picking up 30 disposals from the midfield, which is a talent that few actually have. Because it's very hard to compare these two because they do have different game styles. However, looking at individual achievements and longevity, Dangerfield definitely has a very strong argument. But there's been times and years where Dusty's been better and Danger's been better. Like in 2017, obviously Danger didn't come home with the premiership, but he was suspended for a dangerous tackle, which wasn't too dangerous, but when you're tackling someone as injury prone as Matthew Cruiser, it's pretty easy to get done for a dangerous tackle. And if he had got, I think, 1 vote or 2 votes the next week, he would have picked up his 2nd Brownlow medal. If he had got 1 vote, he would have tied with Dusty, but 2, he would have won it. So I feel like that was almost Danger's medal as well. But they did, I think it was Sydney they versed, so I think he should have had a good game against them. Obviously, Josh Kennedy was doing pretty well in 2017. But I feel like he probably would have polled votes because he did have a really good season that year, and some say better than the year before. And obviously, 8 All-Australians, double what Dusty had. Now, Dusty played amazing in 2017, played amazing in 2018, played amazing in 2019, played amazing. Bit of a different role in 2020. Now, in the finals, I feel like he was more of a half forward, especially in that grand final where he kicked 4 goals. Yeah, he definitely played a bit more of a high half-forward role in that grand final. And then 2019, I'm pretty sure he was still well and truly in their midfield. 2018 as well, and 2017. 2017 was probably his best year from the midfield, I'd say. So they've all had amazing seasons, but Danger played well basically from 2014, I'd say. Even 2013 when Adelaide got to the prelim right through. I'd say maybe a bit of a gap in 21 and maybe not 2020, but in 2018 he had a bit of a melancholy season for his standards. He probably still brought home an All-Australian jacket, but not as good as some of the other seasons he'd had before. But in 2022 he had a really good season, given he only played I think it was probably 15 odd games, maybe 17 or 18, because they did rest him in the middle of the season when they said he probably could have played, but they took a conservative approach. And come finals, he was an absolute bull. It was a really good performance from him, really, and I feel like he thought he had to do everything in finals prior, but this year he didn't feel like he had to do everything. He did his role, played contested footy, and did really well, especially in that prelim and even the grand final. He had a really massive impact, so credit to Danger. So, in my opinion, obviously I'm a Cats fan, I think Patrick Dangerfield has been the better player for a longer period of time. Just because a big part of being a great player is longevity, and Dusty has arguably lacked that, which is a big call, but I think he has, considering Dangerfield has played in the midfield almost his whole career, basically. Obviously, he had some time up forward in 2020, and he did really well down there as well. But I feel like in the midfield, he's played most of his time in the midfield. I'm sure Dusty has as well. But I feel like just overall, Dangerfield has been a better player for a longer period of time. I think at their best, they're definitely very close to each other and probably even, I'd say. So it's very hard to split, but in my opinion, it's Patrick Dangerfield. Anyway, thank you for watching the first video of Player Rivalries, and I'll see you next time on the Paddy OC channel.